Hello. So this is the summary of day 2. If you're watching this, you probably watched the first video. Thank you so much if you did, and thank you so much for all the love that you sent me yesterday. So this is the summary of day 2 of Become Unshakable, Tony's recent challenge that is happening. So today was day 2, and this is the summary of it. I'm not editing anything because I really have a very busy schedule, and if I want to get stuck in editing things, I won't be able to post this. All right, so today was about stories and identity. It was mostly about the identity. So you've heard this expression that says, change your story, change your life, right? So most of the time, when we want to create a change in our life, or in our business, we think how. And yesterday we talked about this. How is the strategy? Before you think about the how or strategy, you need to look at the story that you're telling yourself. That story shows your belief about yourself. We'll talk about belief in a second. And then in order to change your story and change your life or business, you need to change your state. And we talked about how you can change your state: physiology, focus, language. We're going to add 2 other things to it today. So let's talk about belief. What is a belief? Belief is the feeling of absolute certainty. When you're absolutely certain about something, that means that you believe in that thing. You believe that thing is correct, right? So we have certain beliefs about ourselves, and those beliefs are creating our identity. Before I jump in more into the identity, I want to say something that Tony recently talks about it a lot. So he says, good times create weak people. Weak people create bad times. Bad times create strong people, and strong people will create good times again. So that's also another pattern. Remember yesterday we talked about the patterns that we see, pattern recognition, and then we talked about the seasons, right? This is another pattern. You need to look and see where we are. If you read about history, or you watch history, you will see that, in movies and on the books, you will see that this is happening, right? Good times, weak people, bad times, strong people again create good times. And if you look at this, the movies, the strongest hero is facing the strongest villain, right? So the more that villain is, ruthless and, bad, the more or the stronger the hero is, or the better, or you just like that hero much more, right? It shows history. It shows that those are patterns, those are the things that are happening, and we need to be able to recognize them, utilize them, and then create them. So let me see my notes and see if I'm missing anything. Oh yeah. So the feeling, so I talked about the belief, right? The identity. So what you believe about yourself also comes from the feelings that you have at that moment. Let's practice this because I think this is very useful. So however you feel right now, if you can go a little bit low in energy, think about, sometime in your life that everything, just no matter what you did, everything was going wrong. Everything went wrong. You didn't get any results, or the results that you wanted. Can you think of any? So if you see that, or if you see some times in your life that you can see things that went wrong, all the wrong decisions that you made, how does that make you feel? What is life? Who are you? Right? If everything went wrong, there is a higher chance that you link negative emotion to it, and when you want to put a label on or add an identity to it, you're going to use negative thoughts or negative words. Now, get out of that state, change your physiology, and move a little bit, and then think about this. Think about some moments in your life or your business that you made amazing decisions, and you're so happy that thing happened, or it was so hard but you did it anyways. You were so scared but you had the courage and got that thing done. How does that make you feel? Think about the moment of absolute joy, gratefulness, bliss. How does that make you feel? Feel it, experience it. When you do that, now if I ask you about what is life or who are you, what's that label? What's that identity that you say? Do you see yourself as creator, shaper, unstoppable, on fire, right? These are positive. Probably you're using more positive words or labels, right? I'm trying to keep this as short as possible. That's why I'm not going into details of each exercise. So if you need to, spend more time on it, just hit pause and then think about it and then continue, right? All right. So in order to create, so you see, like in your life, sometimes you want to become healthy and you want to be one of those people who exercise every day or 3 times a week. That identity, that person, when you want to create that, when you want to create lasting change, you need to change your identity. The label that you put on yourself, you need to change that. When you change that, then you can create lasting change. So if you want to be successful in your business, you need to also put that label on yourself. Okay, what does successful mean to me? Who's a successful person that can be my role model, or who do I see as a successful person in business? What are the characteristics that they have, right? And then put those labels on yourself. Use the archetypes that we talked about yesterday and command, like your queen can tell you or your king can tell you that this is you. When I call you the warrior in me, when I call you unstoppable, you name that puppy and that puppy becomes your puppy, right? That dog, so I'll tell you why I'm saying puppy, but when you call the warrior unstoppable, he or she is unstoppable. That's the identity that you're giving your warrior, right? So the puppy thing is, so Tony asks, how can you make a dog your dog? Or how can you make a puppy your puppy? You name them, right? You name him or her. And also you train that puppy to not only you name them, you train them. Whenever you call them, they show up, they come. So you need to train your puppy to, whenever you say warrior, unstoppable, whatever name that you want to put on your warrior, on your queen, king, your magician, your lover, you name them, and when you call them, they show up, right? So for example, unstoppable badass, right? You call that I was about to curse. You call that badass, that's enough cursing. You call that warrior that name, and then you call them and they come, right? You name them, you call them, and they come and they show up, and you become unstoppable and you get things done, because it will change your state, it will change your story, it will change your strategy. All right, let's move on. So the whole thing today was about identity. So all successful people, all strong people, everybody, they can do stupid things as well. Why I'm cursing today? I was about to. I didn't. Anyways, so all successful people also do stupid things, right? But they're not stupid, right? So it's important that when you do something that is stupid, when you make a decision that might be stupid, don't call yourself stupid. Don't name yourself stupid, right? Don't give yourself that identity. You can feel depressed at some times, but you're not depressed, right? You understand that? So it's like, don't put that tag on yourself, right? I'm unstoppable, I'm a firewalker, right? But like sometimes I'm also lazy. It's okay. I don't say I'm lazy. I say I feel lazy. Just said I'm lazy, but I shouldn't have. All right. So, right? So it's about being aware and intentional about the words that you use. Why? Because when you change your state, you have three things we talked about yesterday: physiology, focus, and language, right? To change your state. Okay. Two other things that you need to add to this combination to change your state is to have a compelling reason, compelling future, compelling vision that you want to achieve. So as a business owner who's unstoppable, you need to have a compelling reason to be able to get up. Okay, you're in good state, but now what, right? You need to have a vision. I want to create this much, like this many works, or like, I don't know, I want to make this much impact in the world through my business, right? You need to have something that like that fires you up, that wakes you up, right? So you need that compelling reason, that vision, and that should be very strong to get you up and moving. And the last thing that you need is to create that identity. Put a name on it, on that identity. So if you want to be an unstoppable action taker, you call yourself unstoppable action taker, unstoppable badass, whatever that brings those emotions out. It has to, you can't say, oh, I'm gonna call myself a very successful business owner. That's not enough. That doesn't have emotion. Successful is not really emotional, right? Like badass is, right? So you call yourself something. For me is firewalker, because when I remember my fire walk, so I walked on fire a couple of times, and that feeling, you know, when I think about that moment, the first time I walked on fire, that moment that it finished, I passed the whole thing, whew, I was unstoppable. I was ready to fly, right? So whenever I'm scared, I was afraid of public speaking. Whenever I'm scared, I think about it. I'm like, you're a firewalker. What are you talking about, right? I remind myself about my identity. I named my identity. So as soon as I say I'm firewalker, I just do it, right? I cannot sit and relax as a firewalker. I'm like, yeah, let me go, right? So name your puppy, name yourself, name that identity that you want to have, and make sure that name is not like something like Johnny, unless Johnny has like so much emotional attachment to your heart and you feel it, right? But like name it in a way that has emotions attached to it. You can call your a successful business owner Rosha. All right, so let me see. I'm just checking my notes to make sure I'm not missing anything. Ooh, I like this. Anything you attach the word I am to and repeat constantly enough, intensely enough, and emotionally enough, you will become. Mic drop. So anything that you attach the word I am to, right? I am a firewalker, I'm a badass, I'm a shaper, I'm a creator, I am unstoppable, I'm on fire, I'm blah blah, whatever you want, decide on that and just repeat it constantly enough, intensely enough, right? I have my notebook in my hand, so otherwise let me just put it aside. So I would say like, I'm unstoppable, baby, right? Like you change that identity, you go like, I'm a firewalker, right? That identity like will change you. You unleash your real self, right? So like, I'm a firewalker, I'll get that thing done. What are you talking about? Being afraid of public speaking, being afraid of, you know, what people think, right? Like that identity comes out. You need to train yourself to create that identity, and then constantly, intensely, with so much emotion attached to it, create that identity. So whenever you call it, coming in, right? Like that firewalker thing is here, right? and it's not messing around. So it's very important. I'm sure you see the change of in my energy, right? I do this like I didn't plan this, right? Like I just tell you what I've learned today. I've heard these so many times. That's why I can summarize it really fast, because we have 3 levels of mastery: cognitive mastery, emotional mastery, and physical mastery. Cognitive mastery is when you understand something and you know the theory of it, right? And then emotional mastery is when you link feelings to it and you know the consequences. And physical mastery is when you do it consistently, right? So we want to get to physical mastery. Why? Because our brain is always looking for survival. And if you create that physical mastery, your brain doesn't need to burn a lot of calories to do that. You say Firewalker is here, right? You say unstoppable badass, she's here, right? So you call your puppy and she or he will show up. All right. Control your energy. All right. Complexity. Oh, I was gonna say this. So I always say this. Tony always says complexity is the enemy of execution. So we do, like when we went out, so the other day I was talking, so if you guys are watching and you were on the call, I'm sorry, but a few days ago I was talking to 3 successful business owners, and they were planning a retreat. And then they were coming with ideas, adding this and that and this and that. I'm like, oh, like, guys, you're not gonna make it. So, like, they added so much complexity to it, and it's coming up really soon. So you cannot plan something complex in a short period of time and get it done not perfectly, not even good enough, right? So unless there's so many unless things. All right. So you need to simplify, and simplifying stuff needs time, needs more energy. So you need to actually invest more time into something complex to make it simple. But when you make it simple, it can become a system and it can work for you. For example, if you have a business, complexity is the enemy of execution. Think about your business. Don't just learn, don't stay in cognitive mastery. Go to emotional mastery and then physical mastery. Okay, if you have a business, what are the parts or sections of your business that you can create a system for? What's a system? So things that are complex, you simplify them, you formulate them, and you give it to somebody else to do it, or you automate it, or you do something else. I don't know. So complexity is the enemy of execution, and it means that not only understand this, but also apply it to your business. Think about your business. If you need help with your businesses, come talk to me. I'm here for you with 17 years of experience in finance, MBA, marketing. All right, no more ads. No ads here. It's just adding value. So this is important. Complex. So another example, like I have my ring light here because I did it yesterday. If I show you exactly what I'm recording, no, never mind. I don't want to mess around the things I created this. Here I have a tower thing that has my microphone on, right? The tower is made of Kleenex boxes. So yeah, I didn't want to mess it up, but here, right? Like, why? Because this is not my normal place that I take videos. So I'm normally on the other side, but I wanted to stand up and take videos. That's why yesterday I did this. No more complexity, just 3 boxes of Kleenex and we're good to go. So think about your business and make sure that you simplify. And last thing is that knowing that what controls your life is your state. Again, focus on state, physiology, focus language, compelling reason or vision, and creating that identity. Name your identity. And another perfect, or the last perfect thing that I want to say from today, 5 steps to create a unique identity. How can you create a unique identity? First, understand the true power of identity. I think you understand it because I just talked about it. You just saw me changing to my unstoppable firewalker, right? You saw that, and you know, like, imagine just living every day with that type of energy, right? Your best self. So you will understand the power of it. Second, identify and articulate your competitive advantage. This is very important. So as a firewalker, for example, for me, when I am a firewalker, I'm an action taker. I get stuff done. I don't negotiate with myself. And there are so many other good things that I can talk about, right? So you need to identify those. Third, practice communicating congruently. Oh, this is also very important. So being in congruence is the key to everything, even in sales. If you believe in your services, if you believe in everything that you do and the value that you add to your clients or customers, it's easy to sell, right? It's easy to talk about the price. It doesn't matter how high or low it is, right? It's just you believing in that thing that you're talking about, right? And it doesn't need to be business. I talk about business because I'm a business coach, but just look at the identity that I just showed you, right? If I really believe I'm a firewalker, I'm a firewalker, baby, right? If I say something, maybe I should have think about this earlier, but I don't know, like I name myself something else. I don't know, which I don't believe in, I can't own it. So make sure that you're congruent with things that you're saying. And then 4, live it. You need to be that firewalker every day. Why? Because people will judge you by the things that you do constantly. People see that you are an action taker. They're like, yes, she's a firewalker. She's an action taker, right? And the last one is market it. This is very important. So marketing is also very important, especially and even here when we talk about ourselves, because each person has to become a brand. This is so important. Personal brand is super important. I remember like how many years ago? Maybe 14 years ago, I think I got my MBA. I don't know. So I remember hearing this and always constantly saying this. Each person has to become a brand. You guys, all of you have to become a brand, right? So in order to become a brand, you need to market yourself. If you're the best, but you're behind the closed doors and nobody knows you, it doesn't matter. If you're the best coach, if you are the best real estate agent or broker, or I don't know, anything that you do, whatever you do, if you're the best but nobody knows, then who cares, right? When people don't know you, you don't exist. It can be harsh, but it is reality. So it's very important, very, very important to market yourself. If you're the best in anything that you are, make sure that you market it. It's very, 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 very important. Last but not least, I wanna show you something. So I have this necklace in my neck, right? This is an identity. I had this one on and I wanted to change this, and I was like, what should I do? Should I wear this one as well or not? This doesn't really match this, but why did I do that? Because this is my identity. This says women, life, freedom, and that's why I'm doing this, because I believe in women, life, freedom. These are our rights and we're fighting for, and I'm not going to talk about it more than this, but make sure that you search women, life, freedom and see what you see. Peace.